What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Married to Medicine Season 9, Episode 3. So we start this episode off. We have Quad meeting up with Simone, Dr. Simone, and they're just getting caught up. You know, their relationship over the years has been a little up and down. But they were just catching up, and the first thing that Simone realizes is that Quad is on time. Now, we know that on camera and off camera, that has been an issue, that has been a problem, that Quad is always late, they're always waiting on her. And let me give y'all a little behind the scenes situation with that. The thing about these reality shows, when they're filming a scene, they cannot film until everyone is there. So if everybody is there ready, makeup, glam, whatever, and you are an hour late, or you were 2 hours late, or you were 3 hours late, they are waiting for you. Because if it's supposed to be a group scene, then it is a group scene. Now, I'm sure that there are times when they're like, screw it, she ain't here, we're going to go ahead and get started. But at the end of the day, even if they end up starting without you, they still have waited for you. And, it's been talked about in the past with Quad that, that people, the other cast felt very, very disrespected that Quad, can't get nowhere on time, and we waiting on her. We doctors, we on call, we this and we that. And here she comes sashaying up in here. So I think last year, her being demoted, that word on the curb is that was one of the reasons why that they demoted her, because they felt like she was just being a little too much, But neither here nor there, so I'm glad they brought that up and they addressed it. I feel like Quad is trying. She putting forth the effort, honey. But Quad just got her caught up on what she got going on with her mama and Mason living with her. And Simone got her caught up on with her and her husband writing a book. And how their oldest son got him a little boo thing and all that. And that, she's Asian, We noticed that last week, So that was a cute little kiki, So then we see Dr. Contessa going over to Toya's house, meeting up with Toya. Now look, I ain't about to give Toya too much, but Toya, was Contessa exaggerating, or she said you got a cleaning lady coming there every week. I mean, every day. Every day. Girl. Every day? Now, I hope she was just exaggerating, because every day. Anyway, but that ain't even the whole thing, child. They were talking about Heavenly. And Contessa was saying how she feel about Heavenly, and she feels like that they need to confront Heavenly, that they need to have her intervention, because Heavenly needs to understand how she makes them feel. Now, here's the thing. Toya and Simone both told Contessa, listen, she ain't gonna stop doing what she doing. She feel the way she feels. She feel justified in it. She don't feel like she's doing anything wrong. You are not gonna get her to change her mind. She gonna apologize, and the next week she's gonna do the same thing all over again. So honestly, I don't even understand why we're going through all of this, but it is what it is. So they call Simone, and they agree that they're gonna have some sort of, get together where they bring Heavenly, and the purpose is to confront her about her YouTube channel and what the things that she says about them. But they're not going to tell the rest of the girls, because they don't want Heavenly to be tipped off and her not show up. So it's going to be like a little secret amongst the three of them that they're going to have about what's going on with, Dr. Heavenly and her YouTube channel, child. So then we see Anila got a whole package about her nanny leaving, child. I'm sorry, bye. Child, happy trails to you until we meet again. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you are moving and doing some new things in your life, okay? Girl, go. Then we have a Dr. Jackie teachable moment, child. She talking about the different pregnancies and the umbilical cords and stuff, child. I don't care. Somebody probably got something out of that. I didn't need it. I won't ever need it. And there you go. Then, we have Dr. Simone and her husband meeting with Omarosa about writing a book. Now, listen. I feel like this was just a way to bring a star or another celebrity onto the show and have a little cameo. They say they have known Omarosa for years, long before she started working for Trump. She's a really good friend of theirs, and that they not discriminating against her because of her political affiliations. Even though, they had some questions, they did have some questions. But and I ain't even tripping off of that. Like, Omarosa's child. She gonna do what she gonna do, and it is what it is. But they said they would get her advice because she's written books and it was a bestseller and she got this great advance. Yeah, but she wrote political books. Did she write a relationship book? I don't remember that. She may have, because I don't be following her like that. But I don't remember. I remember her writing her book about her time in the Trump White House and stuff like that. But I don't remember her writing no book about relationships and making it work. So I guess I'm a little confused. Are you talking to her to get some insight on, like, you trying to get some insight on how to write a book and get a book published? Or are you trying to get some insight on a book about relationships? Because I don't know if she's the best person to ask about that. And again, I'm not saying she don't know nothing about relationships. Did she write a book about it? But anyway, like I said, I feel like that was just a way for them to kind of just have like a little cameo. But it was cute. It was all right. Then we see Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene is having a crisis of occupation right now, which I think most of us get to at some point in our career. You know, we get to a point where this is what we worked on. This is what we said we wanted to do our whole life, and we love it, but we're a little burnt out, and we need some other options. We need some other things. Now, I saw how y'all slid in there that he not a director no more. Did he demote himself, or did he get demoted? But he said in order to make up that income, he's working more hours at the hospital because, he was making that director's salary. And so now he got to, and Toya's like, well, you don't have to, basically she trying to insinuate he don't have to work that hard. And he was like, but yes, I do. Like, if I want to make the money I want to make, then I have to work the way I got to work. So he said during the pandemic, basically, most doctors or first responders, it was autopilot. And they were so stressed out and they were so fearful and they dealt with so much and they saw so much that a lot of them now on the other side of it are figuring out other ways to practice medicine where they're no longer like on the front lines because it was so draining on them. And so he's trying to figure out where he can go. Like, he's like, I love emergency medicine, but I need to figure something else out. And I can respect that he understands that and that he sees that. And again, I think a lot of us have dealt with that in our careers. It's like, I love what I do, but I need to figure out another way to do this. Like, I'm at that point in my career right now too. Like, I love education, but the classroom, I don't know. I got to find another way to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And so he's talking to Toya about it. And to Toya's credit, she heard him. She was listening. She was attentive. She didn't make it about her. Listen, sometimes that's all you can ask for, because Toya sometimes shall be, Toya will go left when everybody else is going right, and we could be talking about the stars, and she'll say, but what about me? I'm a moon. So I got to give her credit that she did not turn that into a moment about her. Respect. Okay. So we are at Dr. Contessa's house. She is planning for the intervention child. She got notebooks and pens for everybody, I guess, so they can take notes. But let me say this, and, this is not my business at all, but I did notice some things. Now, Contessa, your confessional, did you have a little enhancement done during the off season? Because, now, listen, Contessa always been a bad, shut your mouth. But her confessional look is giving me Wendy Acefo vibes. If y'all watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all know what I'm talking about. Did you get a little bit of, what she call her is hope and love and hope, or hope and something? Did you get a little bit of that? It looked like it in your confessional, like you had a little bit of enhancements. But anyway, not my business. You still look good, girl. Moving on. So Toya and Simone get there early, and they're basically like, what's the plan? So they, unpacking the food, they getting everything ready, they getting the accoutrements together. They said they're not going to let Dr. Heavenly have a drink until they get started, because, Lord, they don't want her. They said they don't want her on that crown, honey. They don't want her on that crown. So they decide the rule is that they got to give up their phones. The ladies have to give up their phones coming in so that they can't tip off Heavenly as to what's going on until Heavenly gets there. So the first person to show up is Anila. And Anila is like, why I gotta give up my phone? Like, what's that? What's going on? And she gives that, they done let Toya be the keeper of the door with the phones, right? So of course, Toya and Anila already ain't vibing right now. So Toya was loving being able to basically boss Anila and tell Anila what she had to do, child. She was loving that. But Anila gave up her phone. She was side-eyeing it, and then she opened up the bucket, and she was like, why ain't nobody else phone in here? Like, you here, I don't see your phone, I don't see Simone's phone, I don't see, hell, I don't even see Contessa's phone. Why my phone only phone in the bucket? But she gave her phone up, child, so they told her what was going on, and Anila was like, what? I'm at a what? Now, I'm going to go through all this, and then I'm going to tell y'all how I feel about the situation. So then Quad shows up. And they would, and the same thing, Toya answers the door and tells her she got to give up her home phone. And Quad is like, I got to do what? She said, well, you have to give up your phone. We'll explain it to you later. And Quad was like, I don't think that's going to happen. And baby, Toya was like, well, that's the rule. Either you give up your phone or you can't stay. Quad said, well, then I see y'all later. I'm out. Deuces. So Toya gonna go in there talking about something. Quad left. She didn't want to give up her phone. So you got Contessa and Simone chasing after Quad to get her to come in. Now, it seems to me after Quad walked away, y'all would have relinquished Toya of her duties and would have asked somebody else to handle the door situation, okay? But nah, y'all let her, because they must explain to Quad. Because hell, Quad said, I got 2 phones. So they must explain to Quad the situation. Because Quad was willing to give up 1 phone, child. That must have been her business phone. But she wasn't ready to give up the second phone. That must have been her personal phone. Now, remember, she got an older mother, and she got a 6-year-old nephew that she is responsible for. I can 100% understand why she ain't ready to give up her phone. I get that. So, but they talked to her, and they must have convinced her, listen, girl, you can keep your phone. We just need you to keep it on the counter. You can't pick it up until we tell you to pick it up. So Quad, I guess, was cool with the compromise. But Quad said, listen, I've been doing this a long time, and I've been around these women a long time, and I know they up to something. It's some fool-la-la and shanoo-noo-noo-noos going on. And then when they told her what it was, she was like, oh, nah, this some bull hockey. Oh, this is some bull hockey. So then Dr. Jackie shows up, and I said, Dr. Jackie ain't going for that shit either. Because knowing Dr. Jackie, she probably on call, okay? So what I say, Dr. Jackie went up in there, and they did the, Toya. I don't know why y'all still had Toya in charge of the damn door, but whatever. Toya answered the door. And Dr. Jackie was like, I'm not giving up my phone. And Toya was like, well, if you can't give up your phone, those are the rules, you can't stay. Dr. Jackie was like, for real? She was like, yeah, for real. She said, you sure? She said, yeah, you sure? Dr. Jackie said, okay, I'm out. I'm gone. She said, okay. She said, all right, okay. Now, what was funny was Dr. Jackie shading the hell out of Toya in her confessional, talking about, ma'am, I'm a real doctor. I'm not an MRS MD, okay? I am a doctor, and I need my phone. So, baby, here go Dr. Simone chasing after Jackie ass out to the parking lot, Dr. Jackie ass. And Dr. Simone was like, girl, you can keep your phone on the counter. We just need people to just not be on their phone until we, tell y'all. And Dr. Jackie was like, oh, all right then, because, I got other things I could be doing, okay? I got places to go, people to see, things to do, okay? But when they told them what was going on, none of them were cool with it. Quad, Anila, nor Jackie, none of them were cool with it, especially Quad and Anila, because they were like, you don't just do that to somebody. Like, it's one thing to say we're going to have a intervention, but this is an ambush, which, to be fair, that's what interventions usually are. If you have a friend or family member that's out of control, whether they have a drug addiction or something, like, generally you don't say, hey, we're going to invite you over for intervention for your drug addiction. Like, that's generally how it's happened. But what I will say though is, I don't think Contessa's intentions were 100% pure. That she had on this ugly ass wig. I said, all them wigs that Dr. Heavenly got in her damn beauty supply, and you picked up that one. And I don't think the wig itself, the style of the wig was just, I don't know who styled that wig for you, child. So of course Dr. Heavily shows up and they gotta make it all dramatic. Her at the door while Contessa's downstairs explaining why she feel the need to have this intervention and what they're gonna do, and hopefully by the end of the night they can have some healing. They can, that they can basically tell her what her tell her the problems, and then hopefully come to some sort of consensus of healing by the end of the evening. And I'm thinking to myself, what Dr. Heavenly do y'all know that y'all think that's how that's about to go down? Like, y'all really think that's how that's getting ready to go down with this Dr. Heavenly? Okay, then. Y'all let me know how that work out. So, Dr. Heavenly comes downstairs, and they say, we got something, something we want to show you, whatever. And Dr. Heavenly was like, okay, we watching a movie. Like, that's what we doing. Like, y'all invited me over here to watch a movie, So, she starts, she gives her little speech, whatever. And then she starts playing it. And, of course, it's basically Dr. Heavenly's top 10 hits. And, of course, they made sure to put in there stuff that Dr. Heavenly has said about everyone, calling Toya lazy, Dr.Simone a flip-flopper, Quad saying Quad sleep with married men, of course, the stuff she said about Contessa. And so, my thing is this. Now, while this is playing, Heavenly's laughing. And she is laughing like it is the funniest thing that she has ever seen in her life. Now, I think that's a combination of nerves, and she really thinks the shit is funny. Like, she really thinks it's funny. She really doesn't think she's done anything. She really don't. And she even said that. She said, y'all, this is funny. This is funny. And baby Contessa went off. She said, this is not funny. This is my marriage. This is not funny. And Contessa was like, and Dr. Heavenly was like, so this what you gonna do? Like, you got a problem with me and you wait until we filming to do this on camera? Like, you couldn't have called me? And I understood both arguments. I understood Heavenly's argument when she said you couldn't have called me and we couldn't have had a conversation about this. But I understand Contessa's rebuttal. She said, you didn't do that privately. You didn't talk to me privately. You did this publicly. You did this on YouTube. So if you can go on YouTube with thousands of people, why I can't do it this way? And so, like I said, I saw both sides of that. But I think in that moment, I think Dr. Heavenly was genuinely hurt that Dr. Contessa, because I think she felt like Dr. Contessa was trying to embarrass her, and on TV, I guess. But again, if I'm Contessa, I understand where she's coming from. Like, you embarrassed me on TV, and Contessa was like, that is not funny. Like, that is my life. Like, in that moment, I was fighting for my marriage, and you made fun of my marriage, and you accused my husband of stuff that wasn't true. And Heavenly was like, I'm not apologizing for nothing I said, because I stand in it. I stand by everything I said, and everything I said was the truth. Now, this is the problem I had with Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly, you have to understand that what you said was hurtful to people. And I saw in the previews for next week where she is apologizing to Quad, because she was like, Quad, I know you don't sleep with no married man. I know you don't sleep with I ain't never known you to do that. But you literally just said right here in this moment, you just said, I'm not apologizing because everything I said is true. So everything you said isn't true, Heavenly. And you should apologize. And not only should you apologize, you should change your behavior. But you can tell that Heavenly did not want to have this conversation on camera. That she did not want to do this for the show. Her thing was, you waited 7 months to have a problem. Like, you waited till we started filming to have a problem. So they outside in the hallway arguing, and the rest of the ladies are still in the theater room. And Dr. Jackie was like, let them argue. They need to get it out. Like, let them say what they need to say. But I guess at a certain point, y'all know how they be chopping it up. So I'm sure they were out there arguing for a long time, and it probably got real bad and real nasty. We see Dr.Simone trying to pull Contessa into another room and trying to get her away from Heavenly. And she was like, good Lord, this is like trying to pull, a monster, because she got all that strength. We know, Contessa got all that strength, honey. So she gets her in the other room, and Contessa is upset. You know, she's crying, she's upset, and she's like, you know, I just can't believe that she's laughing. Like, this is funny for her. Like, this is a joke to her, and it's not a joke to me, and I'm not laughing, and I am hurt. Like, as my friend, I am hurt that she would do this. And so honestly, as far as I'm concerned, child, ain't nothing get resolved. Dr. Heavenly ended up leaving. And that's sort of where we left it. So, child, it said to be continued. So I don't know if Dr. Heavenly comes back. I don't know if they continue the conversation after Dr. Heavenly left. I really don't know. But, child, that's what it was. It is what it is, and it was what it was, child. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.